What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. Much appreciated. Coming to you from Sin City. We are doing Radio Row, Leroy and I, for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Very exciting. I'm very, very, anytime I can be around the sweet science, I can be around boxing, I am thrilled. After the show today, I got a chance to sit down with Freddie Roach, which was it was like one of my bucket list interviews. I was a huge Manny Pacquiao, Freddie Roach fan. Love that tandem together. And it was cool. It was really cool getting a chance to get insight from one of the more honest minds, one of the best minds in boxing. And that was a real thrill for me. But a lot of our show today was centered around the breaking news as it was happening during our show today. Jalen Ramsey apparently injured his left leg, left knee, happened on a collision during practice. We don't know the severity of it right now, and there's a lot of varying reports right now. Pretty crazy day in the NFL. Honestly, right before I came to sit down and do this was the news of Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow, he also had to get carted off. Now, we have video of Joe Burrow's injury. I guess Cincinnati media is allowed to film practice, which is cool. And it was just a non-contact. He pulled up. Apparently, like, he had something on his calf that they put a sleeve on it today, and he went down in a heap. So again, you don't want to ever speculate on these things, but they are scary. I mean, nobody ever likes hearing carted off. Nobody ever likes hearing the term non-contact. And some severe injuries today, man. Like, yeah, I believe Garrett Wilson at Jets practice, he did not get carted off, but he hurt his ankle. So a pretty rough day in the NFL as far as injuries are concerned. Relating back to the Dolphins, it's, you look at Jalen Ramsey. If they weren't to have Jalen Ramsey, first of all, the first thing that just came to my mind is, like, I cannot believe the bad luck this team has had with their cornerbacks. You know, it just feels so snake bit over these last couple of years between Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. And you even think of, Nick Needham, Trill Williams getting hurt last year, Kader Coe, who had to come out of nowhere. And, you were hoping that Jalen Ramsey, I feel like with Jalen Ramsey, like, while it's not as flashy a signing maybe as flashy a trade as the Tyreek Hill one was, I mean, it's just as important. I feel like this guy is still one of the best in the league to do it. He knows Vic Fangio's system. He has just such a great trickle-down effect for the rest of the secondary. And so if you lose him, yeah, you have maybe some more options. So, like, you think to yourself, well, all right, we drafted a guy early in Cam Smith. Kader was amazing. Got rave reviews from Xavier Howard. All that type of stuff is cool. But Jalen's the guy that's been there. He's done that. He's been to the mountaintop. He seemed like he was going to make life a lot easier for Xavier Howard. So if it is something that is bad, and the Dolphins, and I guess we'll just, we'll wait until we get more info on that and things come through on that. This is, I'm doing this at, what is this? It's 1:22 here in Vegas, so it's like 4:30 your guys' time in Miami right now. So, if anything else comes of it, obviously we'll react to it and see where the Dolphins go. But yeah, if it is something that is a significant amount of time, that is that's a killer. But as look, reporters have pointed out that getting carted off a lot of the times in facilities, you got to take them from a field all the way back to a medical office. It's just maybe a level of convenience. I get it, but also it's not great. Now, I think with Jalen, they were like looking at him for 7, 8, 9 minutes, getting a sense of how things are. Javon Holland was like, yeah, we're a little bit worried about it. You're of course worried about a guy of that stature, that ilk, what he brings to the table. So has not been a day without drama. And if you thought like, yeah, today was going to be the day where it was like, oh, the Tyreek Hill slap video, that was going to be the biggest piece of Dolphins drama, which really was, I don't want to say much ado about nothing, because I think Tyreek said it in the right way. I think that he said that it was a boneheaded thing to do because, the guy had a clean year last year, no drama off the field, has had baggage in the field, off the field before. Very recognizable dude, and he is trying to make himself a staple in the community and all that stuff. Said he wanted to go into the Hall of Fame as a Miami Dolphin. So I didn't think the video was like awful. But I do think that like Tyreek Hill's just gotta you got a bunch of people that now I don't know. Obviously, we don't know what was said. What was being said to him. We did have the details that they weren't, or his friends weren't on a boat that was theirs. So, all of it is in the spot where I'll say this: the video is not suspension worthy. That was like the last thing I guess we were all waiting for. Will this video get Tyreek Hill suspended? I don't think it will. I think if that were to get him suspended, I would have a big problem with that from the NFL. I think that is crazy talk. But yeah, he's got a very recognized dude, star of the Dolphins, was allegedly in reports dropping his name in the whole incident. He got to be smarter than that. He has to. That's why Mike McDaniel says you're disappointed, but you're not overwhelmingly reacting to this and going crazy about it. From the Dolphins' perspective, the other big thing that they got to look out for is the Dalvin Cook saga seems like it could be coming to an end. Now, you got to take what Dalvin Cook says with a grain of salt because that dude loves to troll on Twitter. I respect it. We got the news yesterday that Aaron Rodgers had restructured his contract. He had taken a big pay cut to give the Jets some flexibility. He gets a big check right off the bat, and that obviously gives them a little bit more wiggle room as far as paying Dalvin Cook and the number that he's probably looking for. So Dalvin Cook retweeted a video of him scoring a touchdown against the Dolphins, and he put heading to the airport and so I think a lot of people are seeing the signals that the Dalvin Cook signing is likely heading towards he's going to go to the New York Jets, which sucks from the standpoint of the Jets are going to get a pretty good player in Dalvin Cook. That being said, I think the Dolphins have been in a couple spots here where they could have made the push for Dalvin. I think in that case you almost have to trust Mike McDaniel. Yeah, there's a part of me that's like, all right, well, division rivals getting better. You don't get the hometown guy to come back, so that story doesn't happen. And also, you're looking and be like, all right, do we trust Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Devon Achane to get this thing done? I think you do, especially knowing that Mostert, who I don't think the point's been made enough, but he made it where he's like, look, I had an actual off season. I got to get myself better. He was giving himself the goosies with how excited he was about his improvement. Jeff Wilson, he gets the whole season to kind of get into the fold of things. These guys are really, really tied to the coach. And then you could kind of sprinkle in Achane, even at his size, and you could kind of grow him into whatever the specialty is, fast as hell. The whole team just basically specializes in fast as hell. Tyreek Hill, fast as hell. Jalen Waddle, fast as hell. Raheem Mostert, fast as hell. I don't know why I'm talking so fast, but fast as hell. That's just where everybody's at right now. So while none of them have the pedigree of a Dalvin Cook, because Dalvin Cook is an all-pro, Pro Bowler, has put up the numbers every year that he's been healthy, I think from the offensive standpoint, if Mike McDaniel thought it was worth the home run swing, then he would do it. You gotta trust his mind in that regard, and I think that he does trust based on the yards per carry from his two guys last year and all that type of stuff. So Mike McDaniel's not about just goosies. He gives you the goosies, and while Dalvin Cook coming home would be a goosies worthy story, it's not enough to just let him go out there and pull the trigger. It seems. We are jumping ahead of ourselves. He is going to be on Good Morning Football, go over to the Jets facility. And, I mean, it kind of sounds surprising that it would be surprising that he wouldn't end up with the New York Jets, especially after that Aaron Rodgers domino falls. I think that we can kind of see the writing is on the wall there and is going in that direction. So crazy day so far. As I'm reading this, there is an update on Joe Burrow from Ian Rappaport. Zach Taylor tells reporters that Joe Burrow suffered a calf strain, which is much better news than several alternatives. Have to imagine this takes him off the field for the preseason, to be determined on a time frame. So that is good news. If it is just a strain for Joe Burrow, he's already had an ACL tear. You don't want something terrible happening that to one of the bright young stars in the league. And especially I was thinking to myself, well, wasn't he just? You would think his contract extension is probably, that news is probably coming soon. So, really, really cool. I will say, as an aside from that, on the extension, it was Tua was asked a little bit about that and not sweating that stuff at all with the contract. And I think, Tua's honestly, in a way, has got to be excited, because if Tua does go out there and he does ball out this year, and especially if he is able to get through a season durably and can play all the games, man, that dude's going to make a truckload of money. Look at Jalen Hurts. Like, it doesn't take, he's not going to, I don't think he's going to have to prove it this year, and also prove it next year. So I think for me, I'm like, I'm pleased seeing everything coming from number one on that stuff and all that. But a crazy day between Jalen Ramsey, Burrow going down, and the Dalvin Cook news. It was a hectic day on the Dolphins front.